afternoon, Paranerds. I hope your day is absolutely amazing, and I want to welcome you back to the 31 Days of Halloween. That's right, the 31 Days of Halloween is continuing with Day 3, and I am excited to bring you this movie. It has quickly become one of my favorite ghost stories ever. I just watched it, probably today is October 3rd, so I just watched it last weekend, literally last weekend. I just watched this movie and it has quickly become one of my favorites, and that just goes to show you how God blessed, wonderful, and amazing this movie is. And of course, we are talking about
Within this old house live two residents. One of them is John Russell, composer, professor. The other has been dead for over 70 years.
Claire, I'd like to talk to you about the house.
Did you die in this house? How did you die?
Whatever it is, it's trying desperately to communicate. What is it in that house, Claire? What is it doing? Why is it trying to reach me?
It's a hand.
Senator, I'm John Russell. I'm living in your house. Senator, look, I want to show him that.
You've got something of the senator's. He wants it back.
John?
What is it you want?
What do you want from me?
Many films will frighten you, but only a few can really terrify you. The Changeling, an experience beyond total fear.
The Changeling. The Changeling, directed by Peter Maddock, is about John Russell, played amazingly and brilliantly by George C. Scott, as a man trying to get over the tragic loss of his wife and daughter in a freak accident. He ends up renting this mysterious old house from the local historical society where he can compose his music, as he is an accomplished piano player and a professor. He decides, I can't stay at my house anymore. Too many memories. I can't stay there. He rents this house. It's a beautiful house. It's been abandoned for years. I don't understand why. We quickly learn why. As the day goes on, spending more and more time in the house, strange things begin to happen. Every morning there are loud banging noises from somewhere within the house. Bam, 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 bam. Doors open and close on their own. An attic window gets blown out from the inside. Russell, not knowing what to do, this is all strange to him. First he attributes it to, it's an old house, it hasn't been lived in a long time, maybe it's just settling. Until one day, a ball comes rolling down the stairs. His daughter's ball. He freaks out, drives to this bridge, throws the ball off the fucking bridge because he's so scared. He comes home. All of a sudden he hears a noise. Something is bouncing down the stairs, and it's his fucking daughter's ball. Such a creepy, amazing scene. It was terrifying. This movie Scared the crap out of me. It was so good. The atmosphere in this movie is amazing. Holy crap. So, after all this starts to happen, Russell decides to talk to a colleague at the university he's working at. And he says, all this is going on. I don't know what to do. And the colleague suggests having a seance. So they do. Russell soon finds out some surprising secrets during the terrifying seance, and it is freaking terrifying. He decides to record it on a reel-to-reel because this is back in the 80s. Actually, it might even be the 70s, excuse me. I don't know why I cough during every video. I think every video I've coughed in, but anyways. Excuse me. And I love that it's an old reel-to-reel because as a paranormal investigator, we use recorders all the time. And it seems that the old reel-to-reel and even the old cassette tapes seem to work the most. Like, digital recorders work, but to get fantastic results, try a reel-to-reel or an old cassette tape. They work amazingly. But let's go back to our synopsis. After finding out some terrible secrets, he begins an investigation with the help of Claire Norman, played by the beautiful and talented Trish Vanderveer. She's a member of the Historical Society. He met her. They start to hit things off, and she helps him go through all this. And they really want to figure out what's causing all this disturbances, and if it is a spirit, maybe they can help the spirit just lay to rest. And the rest, you'll have to find this movie and watch it on your own because it is absolutely brilliant. The score behind this movie is haunting. It delves into the atmosphere. It brings it up so high, and it just impacts you. And I love when a movie does that. When you have a movie that has acting this incredible, a story that leaves you engaged, a music score that just absolutely keeps you on the edge of your seat in suspense with everything going on. Fantastic. Love it. Love this movie. I cannot recommend this movie more than enough. Watch this movie. It is fucking amazing. I tweeted out another local paranormal investigator. He's probably like the premier paranormal investigator here in Detroit. And I asked him, I said, hey, what are your thoughts on this movie? And he told me, he said, it's probably one of the best ghost story movies ever made. And I would 1,000% agree with that. It really is. And I have to, I really, as a paranormal investigator, I have to give a shout out to the writers who did their research. John Russell performs an actual paranormal investigation. When what I mean is, he doesn't just he has a seance. He records the seance. No, a lot of people tend to think that paranormal investigation is sitting in the dark waiting for responses with a recorder. No, it's so much more than that. You have to do the research on the property, the families that used to live there. I have this glare here and it's driving me nuts, but I'm literally sitting in a car filming these because this is the only time I have to film some of these. So we're going to have to deal with this sunlight. I apologize. Back to being a paranormal investigator. You have to do the research. You have to go to the library. You have to go and find the history of the property. You have to find the owners, the previous owners, and ask them. Paranormal investigating is one of the hardest things to do. But it is also one of the most fulfilling things, and I love being a paranormal investigator. Some of the craziest things I've seen, some of the craziest things I've come across is amazing. But the fact that the writers of this script, of this screenplay, of this story included all of that and embraces it, thank you so much, because it's very rarely ever shown of how hard it is to research. There are some of the best paranormal researchers out there. The friend I was talking about earlier, John E. L. Tenney, Greg and Dana Newkirk, Carl Pfeiffer, Connor Randall, Michelle Bellinger, Jeff Bellinger. Just so many great researchers that... Linda Godfrey, Rosemary Ellen Guiley, may she rest in peace. All of them. These are all just coming to the top of my head right now. But all of them, they are fantastic researchers. They take the time. They put in the work. So, honestly, seek them all out. I cannot gush about them more than enough. Apparently, I am getting a notification on the car, but we're going to ignore that because we're in the car. What was I saying? Oh, yes. Seek them out. Read their work. See how much work they put into their craft. It's amazing. And the fact that the writers of this screenplay did all that, it's amazing. I love it. Thank you so much for that. It's not shown enough in movies nowadays, and it really needs to. There's an example of research in a docuseries called Hellier, one of the best docuseries out there. I will be doing a review on that very soon. Look forward to that. One of my favorite docuseries ever. Fantastically done. We'll get into that next. Let's go back to The Changeling. Let me tell you some facts about this movie. Director Martin Scorsese includes this movie on the top 11. Top 11! He couldn't do top 10. No, Martin Scorsese had to do top 11 scariest horror films of all time list. And I would agree. In my top 10 for sure, which is why it is on day 3. Love this movie. Now, granted, Invaders from Mars and Prophecy, they're not exactly in my top 10. This one is in my top 10. Probably number 2. Number 1 will be on day 30. Because day 31st, I have a very special movie that has a special place in my heart. But this is probably my top 2 favorite horror movie of all time. Fantastic. Now, about the house. The house scene in the movie, it doesn't exist. The filmmakers could not find a suitable mansion to use for the film, so it cost around $200,000. The production had a Victorian Gothic mansion facade attached to the front of a much more modern dwelling on a Vancouver street. And holy crap, I did not know that when I was watching this film. It looked like a real mansion. I thought for sure this was a giant mansion, and I wanted to go investigate it. I wanted to go look. It may not be haunted. I don't care. Every place is haunted. There's a whole other thing we're going to get into eventually. This looked so real. The interiors of the house were all sets. It was an elaborate group of sets. I had no idea. I thought this was a real place. The set design in this movie is amazing. I am screaming because this movie blew my fucking mind. Holy crap. It was fucking amazing. It looks so real. I cannot gush about the fucking sets in this movie enough. Now, the movie is supposedly based on events which supposedly took place at Henry Treat Rogers Mansion in Denver, Colorado. Colorado has its own spooky history. We'll get on that later in the channel. Whilst writer Russell Hunter was living there in the 1960s. The Cheesman Park neighborhood is a movie reference to the Cheesman Park in Denver, where the original haunting transpired. I believe Cheesman Park it could be where I believe he meets Claire. My mind is blanking right now, so forgive me on that. I believe it is. Speaking of John and Claire, the chemistry behind them is so natural, and it meshes together so well. And well, it makes sense because Trish Van Devere and George Scott, they were married, husband and wife, doing this movie. She doesn't play his wife; she plays his potential love interest after his wife is murdered. Well, not murdered; it was an accident, but it shouldn't have happened. It was some bullshit. And it's the opening scene, and it's so sad, and it's so good. And I just absolutely spoiled that, but I don't care because you need to watch this movie. For publicity for this picture stated that Trish Van Devere and George C. Scott had made 7 films together in their 8 years of marriage, this being their 8th film together. And that is amazing. To work with your spouse the whole time and have such a natural chemistry and to be able to work with them and have a blast, that's amazing to me. I love that, and they play off each other so well. They're fantastic together. She was married to George C. Scott up until his death. She has not remarried, as far as I know. I looked into it, I believe, the other day, and it did not look like she remarried. And they are so great together in this movie, and they play off each other so well, and it's fantastic. The screenwriters, Diana Maddox and William Gray, spent around 6 months doing research. One movie, and that's how paranormal investigating is. One case can take years to research. 6 months doing research for the picture, which included copious newspaper articles on parapsychological encounters, over 700 books. 6 months, 700 books, and not only that, 2,000 case histories. 2,000 case histories for one film. That's exactly what paranormal investigating is about. You have to look into so many things just to solve one case. It's worth it, though. And you can't even say solve a case, because there's really no solving anything in paranormal investigating. What it's mainly about is helping people and helping spirits and whatever phenomenon there is out there. Helping everything. More about this movie. Director Peter Maddox said he was initially intimidated by stories of actor George C. Scott being difficult to work with. Wasn't necessarily true. The only trouble Maddox had with Scott on the set was when production managers accidentally knocked over a chessboard on which Scott had been playing a game against himself for over 2 weeks. So, for months of filming, one issue, you can't really complain, because George C. Scott, he was an alcoholic. There are stories that he was very hard to work with. I'm gonna try and fix this. It didn't work, sorry. This is honestly driving me nuts, but hopefully it's not taking away from the filming. George C. Scott was notorious for being difficult to work with, but on this film, no, not at all. Just the one incident. I highly recommend this movie. Again, I just watched this movie last weekend, and today be October 3rd. Last weekend, and it is one of my favorite movies. I give it 5 ghosts out of 5. This movie terrified me to the point to where I had to sleep with my lights on and make sure my dog was on the bed with me. And I'm a freaking paranormal investigator. I've seen some crazy shit. I have been slapped in the face by a spirit, and this movie scared the crap out of me. Bravo to the filmmakers. Bravo to the screenwriters. Bravo to the acting talent. You did an amazing job. This film is brilliant. Please check it out. The Changeling, starring George C. Scott, directed by Peter Maddox. Please check it out. I cannot recommend it more. Top 2. I mean, number 2 in my top 10. Amazing film. Check it out, please. Thank you so much for watching these videos. I know last video I kind of went on, and I truly do appreciate all the support in these videos. Everyone who has watched, thank you so much. I know it's hard to deal with my rambling. I do have a script, but I do go off script quite a bit, and you can tell because when I'm reading the script, it flows naturally, and when I start to go off and have thoughts on my own, my brain kind of trips me up, and it did yesterday when I was trying to say the word hypnosis. I just said it earlier. Why does it sound so weird? Hypnosis. I don't fucking know. I've never been able to say that word. I'm sorry. Thank you for putting up with my rambling. Thank you for watching the videos. Please like, comment, subscribe. If you want to support this channel, the Patreon link will be in the description. Know that I appreciate all my patrons. You all mean the world to me. Everyone who watches these videos mean the world to me. The love and support you send to me and you show me, I cannot thank you enough. I know that, like, I'm filming in a car and I'm editing on a smartphone. I do have, pretty soon you will be seeing better videos not filmed in cars. Better editing and all that. It's just right now, it's just such a busy time for me. I work 50 hours a week. When I'm not working, I have my puppy. I love her to death, and I'm spending as much time with her as I can. And I'm filming these videos, and it's so hard to do everything together. But to those who have stuck it in and kept with me, know that I appreciate you all so much. You all mean the absolute world to me. Thank you for watching. I'd love to be able to do this full time, but I cannot do that until I either get monetized on this YouTube channel or I get enough patrons that I can do YouTube full time. I'd love to do that. And if you, and any support you want to give me, just know that I truly appreciate that. I'm not going to sit here and beg for money and beg for you to join the Patreon. I'm not going to do that. If you choose to do that, know that I thank you so much for that. Again, link is in the description. Everyone who watches these videos, that leaves likes, that comments on them, thank you so much. If you have some criticism, let me know. What can I do to change things? Please. Horrible comments, if you decide to leave a horrible comment, you may see it in the future because, you know, hey, I can laugh at myself. I don't care. As you can see, like this right here, this is probably the most unprofessional thing you've ever seen, but I don't care. I can laugh at myself. You can say the most horrible things to me. I'll laugh at it. I don't care. I'll be doing a Paranerd reads your comments eventually down the road. But again, thank you so much for watching. Your support means the world to me. Check out The Changeling. Great movie. I will continue to do the 31 Days of Halloween. Thank you so much. I love you all. You're amazing. And we'll catch you tomorrow. Have an absolute wonderful day.